Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you are all safe and well and that you had a good weekend and you enjoyed the beautiful sunshine. From what I've seen by your many messages and your emails, you've been able to get out in your gardens, and lots of you have taken some time to go and observe nature, which is fab. Thank you. I've also been really impressed with the rainbows that you've created and put in your front windows. So, good job. Well done, everybody. Thank you for all the kind messages about my first ever virtual assembly. When you do anything for the first time, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking, and hopefully today's assembly will be a bit better, but I'm learning all the time. You'll notice no Bonnie today. I've decided to leave her in her kennel. Maybe I'll get her out a little bit later. In a week of firsts, I also held my first ever online meeting with the head and the Christ College staff. I also hosted my first ever family quiz on Zoom, and I think some of you have done the same thing. And as you know, I uploaded my first ever video onto YouTube. And I also listened to my first ever podcast on the BBC Sounds app. Never done that before. You'll have noticed that all of these things rely on digital technology, and many of us are having to try and get our heads around things at this current time in order to keep in touch with family and friends and loved ones. Also, now we're all starting our remote learning, we're all having to embrace how to use the Office 365 digital platform. And one thing for sure, we'll have all improved our IT skills no end once this crisis is over. So a big well done to everyone who managed to complete the test task and upload it onto SharePoint. Thanks also to mums and dads, brothers and sisters for helping you with this. I really appreciate it. I've enjoyed reading through your homeschool booklets and finding out how you're all been feeling about things at this very strange time. It's clear to me that many of you are feeling a little bit sad about not being able to see your friends or go to school. And I can understand that it's very hard for you. It's also heartening though to hear that many of you feel happy that you can spend more time with your families and that you're grateful that you're safe. In last week's assembly, I asked you to stop and observe nature. It seems that I'm not the only one, and so many of you have told me about the seeds you're growing, the dens you've built. Some of the dens are in your own living rooms, the walks you're going on, the pebbles you've painted, and all sorts of wonderful things involving nature, and it's brilliant. At the end of the assembly, I'll share some more clips of the nature I've spotted in the garden this week. You're also a very active bunch. So many of you are making sure you're keeping fit. Madly, Kobe and Freya have been out running. Fab. Lots of you are doing the Joe Wicks workout, which is fantastic, and others are enjoying jumping on their trampolines or having Nerf gun fights. I must say, I'm very impressed with the brilliant things that you're all doing to keep yourself busy. You're a really creative bunch, so here's a few examples. Esme has been watching pipistrelle bats in her garden with her dad. That's when she's not climbing up her beech tree to read her book. Oscar has been very busy on his farm. Not only has his Shetland pony had a lovely, oh so cute, the foal, have a look on Twitter, he's been hatching out quail's eggs and building a bike rack with his dad out of a pallet. Brilliant idea. Anna and Izzy have been walking their dogs Sparkle and Tank, and they're lucky to have a pony to ride. And Shanshan has been helping her parents in the garden, and James, Shone, has been doing lots of dangerous things and riding around on his bike on the farm, amongst other things. Lots of you have been creative. Martha and Isabel are keeping up the cross stitch. Many of you doing lots of baking. Lara's doing sequin art. Tyler's been chalking pictures around his home. Freya's been designing her own board games with her dad, and Charlie has been using this opportunity to work towards more of his Cubs badges, which is a fab idea. Finally, I'm impressed that so many of you are keeping up with your music practice. It's really important you make time to practice your instrument while you're at home. So, whatever you've been up to, keep it up. I also asked you what you were missing most about not being at school. The same three things seem to crop up for many, many children. Many of you are missing your friends. You're also missing your teachers and Audrey the snake. And finally, lots of you are missing the playground, especially the climbing structure. Worry not. All these things will still be there when we return to school, and you'll enjoy seeing them all the more. I want to talk to you now about routines. Routines help us all to stay safe. Usually we don't even notice them, and we take these routines for granted. But we miss those routines when they're gone. Making new routines will be very important over the coming days and weeks. What are the new routines that you're starting to notice when you've been at home for so long? We've been away from school for quite a few weeks now, and lots of things in your day-to-day routine have changed. So what are those new routines for you in your homes? Some celebrities are helping with exercise, stories, cookery lessons, online dance classes. There's so many things you can access. All of these happening at different times of the day. I wondered if any of you can add these things to your daily routine. Now that you're having work set for you on the digital platform, maybe you can aim to do these at the same time of day that you would do them ordinarily at school. But if you can't, don't worry about that. Try to create a routine for yourself that works in your home with your family. Because routines are important. Some people are using FaceTime or Zoom to communicate with friends or family. Can you arrange a time to meet up on a regular basis with your friends? Can you build that into your new routine? Boys and girls, meal times and bedtimes. Have to go there. They're a really important part of everyone's routine, especially at times like this. It's tempting to say that they don't really matter at times like this, when you don't have to go to school every day. But actually, they're more important now than ever. Making sure that we eat healthily, we get enough sleep, and that's vital to keeping us healthy and happy. So when you're looking at your new routines and you're thinking about where you're going to put your schoolwork and you're thinking about when you're going to keep in touch with your friends, please, please, please don't forget that bedtimes and meal times are important, and trying to keep them regular is the best way to go forward. Some families are using timers as a fun way to make them stick to their new routines as they move to a different activity. You could even try moving to a different room. Or maybe you can go into the garden. You know I like my garden. Have you got something that could help you set the time for the day? Anything can be used, a timer on your phone, if you've got an Alexa or a kitchen buzzer, whatever works for you. Although a routine's important, make sure you structure in lots and lots of unstructured times as well. This is a time to let your imaginations lead the way. There's an opportunity here for you to do the things you might not normally get the chance to do every day. Maybe some of the ideas I mentioned earlier might appeal to you. Or you can message your friends to find out what they've been up to. So, your messages, make the most of it. Let your imaginations run wild. Use this time and set it as an opportunity. There's a very noisy pigeon in the background. Create yourself that new routine and try to stick to it each day. It does help us if we do set things at set times in the day, because it gives us something to look forward to. For example, I start my day with a short run, and then I know I've done my exercise for the day. And then later in the day, look forward to a spell in my garden, or I go and speak to my chickens or walk the dog or something. With a routine, we ensure we do the things we're less keen on, and it keeps us busy, so we have less time to focus on all those other worries that we have at the moment. So I come back to what I said at the beginning. What does your new routine look like? And if you haven't designed it yet, that's fine. Maybe you need to sit down with your family and think about how we're going to structure our days. Maybe you can make something to put on the fridge that helps to organise that. Now, so this week will be a bit different now you have work set for you on the computer. It's bound to be a bit tricky at first, and I'm sure that many of you never worked like this before. Trust me, I haven't either. My message is to be patient, do your best, and not to worry. If you get stuck, and that's quite a possibility, please ask for help. That can be a person in your home, your family members, perhaps, older brother or sister. But if you can't solve your problems in your family home, you can ask me for help. On the SharePoint homepage, there are 3 boxes. The one on the right will open up your school email. You can always send me a little message. Similarly, you can use this to message your friends in school. You should all know your own email addresses. But if you don't, those in Year 6, for example, have their email addresses all start with the number 27, then an underscore, and then their surname. Year 3 children email addresses start with the number 30, an underscore, and then their surname. Have a go and see if it works. The best way to keep any worries at bay is to fill your time with lovely things to do. Now is the time to search through your cupboards, find those books and games and activities, old Christmas presents, birthday presents that you've forgotten you even had. Or maybe there are things you've never got round to doing. Make a list of all the things you want to try. There's lots of brilliant art and craft, music and sport ideas online too. Perhaps you can use the alphabet idea. For every letter of the alphabet, you can try and do something new. Write it down, fold it up, put it in a box, give it a shake. Every day you can take out one of your little folded up pieces of paper, and you can do it with your family perhaps, or maybe on your own. It's a super way of filling your time with lots of lovely things. There are going to be times when your parents are busy and they can't be there to help you with your schoolwork. So this is a great thing you can do when you can. So maybe it's a good idea to read a new book, the one that's been on that shelf for ages and ages you haven't got round to reading. Moving on to being kind. Being kind to yourself and doing things you love and treating others kindly is more important than ever. Doing kind things for people in your family will not only make them feel good, but trust me, it'll make you feel good too. So, help with the dishes, help with any housework, help with the cooking, ask your family members what you can help with. It will help to fill your time and it will make you feel good. So you may be wondering what I've been doing to keep busy. Well, you saw on last week's clip, I'm a very keen gardener. And in the last week, my seeds have grown so much. I'll show you a photo a little bit later. I've also been busy raking all the moss out of my lawn, which was hard work, as my lawn is very big. I've also been reading books on my Kindle, and I've picked up my camera again. I've been enjoying getting out into the garden, taking photos of flowers and birds, and a few of my dog Bonnie. So think of all those new things you've got time to do now. And it'll take your mind off everything else and you'll have a great time doing it. Keep taking photos and sending them to me. So the message is to try and keep busy doing things you enjoy. Strangely, as terrible as this time is, coronavirus has given us an opportunity to try out different things to do. As I said last week, we're all in the same situation, everyone across the world. This is an important time in history, and 2020 will become a date that everyone learns about in future generations. How are you going to remember how you got through the coronavirus? What will you tell people in the future when they ask you what it was like? Perhaps you can keep a special diary or a journal or create some kind of log of what you do each day to look back on one day when this all settles down. Those people in 100-year-old Captain Tom's family will remember him walking 100 laps of his garden and raising nearly £30 million for charity. A fantastic achievement, and now he's #1 in the pop charts. Those people who volunteered to deliver medicines, like Mr. Trumper, he'll look back and remember how he helped others. And maybe those of you who've decorated your front windows with rainbows can keep them safe when you take them down to look back on in the future. As with all assemblies, it's time for me to finish with a short prayer or reflection. Please, wherever you are, take a moment to be quiet and perhaps bow your head or close your eyes if you wish. Take a few moments to think about what people are going through at the moment. We pray for all those who are suffering because of the coronavirus. When we are afraid for ourselves and for our loved ones, give us your strength and courage. When we feel alone and isolated, reassure us with a sense of your presence. Give wisdom to those in authority and may our community work together for the good of all. We give thanks for those who care for others and ask you to bless them in all they do. Amen. So as promised, here's Bonnie with a tub of ice cream. So I hope you all enjoyed today's virtual assembly and remember those key messages. Ask a grown-up if you've got any worries. Create some lovely activities for yourselves and really make the most of this time. Please try to complete the work that's been set for you, and please remember that if you've got any questions about your work or anything else that's bothering you, please get in touch. And that goes for mums and dads as well. A little reminder, you don't need to upload the work set for you this week onto the computer. I know that many of you are able to do this, but I would like to remind you that you need to record your work in your exercise books like normal. The only exception to this is the healthy questionnaire in the wellbeing folder. Do upload this before Friday so I can have a read through. If you don't manage to do that, it's fine. I'll be uploading all the answers on Friday so that you can check how you've got on in your maths and English and other things. Boys and girls, I have one last surprise before I sign off. As mentioned earlier, many children are missing Miss Hallen and Miss Brown, and so am I. I know that both of them are really missing seeing you all and they can't wait for school to reopen. So I hope you enjoy this little film.
Hi everyone, here I am in my garden with Audrey. She says hello too. Hope you're all doing really well, missing you lots. Audrey's been very well behaved. She's starting to enjoy the television a little bit too much, so I might have to wean her off that one. Just like Mrs. Lewis, I've been enjoying nature as much as I possibly can, getting out in my garden. Hopefully you can hear all the birds in the background as I'm talking. I've also been reading a lot, and I've read some absolutely fantastic books which I can't wait to share with you when we're back into the classroom. A very special hello and welcome to Kobe. I'm Miss Helen-Ann, and I can't wait to welcome you into our classroom and get to know you really, really well in the short time that we'll get to spend with each other. So I hope you're all doing really, really well. You're being really, really good and very, very kind to your parents, especially when they're helping you with your work. And I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, I hope you're okay. Currently on my daily walk with Archie, which is one of the highlights of my day. You can say hello, Arch. You can say hello. You can probably hear the lambs as well in the background. Oh, you can see some as well, look. So I hope you're all staying safe and enjoying the beautiful Welsh sunshine, which is a bit of a rare occurrence, especially in April. I'm missing you all lots and lots, and hopefully it won't be too long now until I can see your smiley faces again. In the meantime, make sure that you're kind to your parents and appreciate all that support they're giving you at home with your learning. So stay safe, keep smiling and positive, and take care. See you! Say bye, Arch.
Wasn't that special? I think that's a lovely way to end this virtual assembly. Have a lovely week, everyone. I'll see you all again next week for my 3rd virtual assembly. Stay safe, everyone. It's been great talking to you, and I look forward to your messages this week to let me know how you've been getting on. Take care. Bye. So as you can see, my seeds have sprouted into life. Hello, Bunny. Hello. And tomatoes have gone crazy, and all my flowers, the leeks are ready, and my courgette is huge. So everything is looking very, very healthy. And here's Bonnie. Would you like a biscuit? There you go.
Who's Bonnie? Monster?